Okay, so what you see in front of you is my Greyscale basic edit for my piece, and the main use of this for me is to, for one, have a kind of accurate remake or representation of my scene in a 3D space, which I can then use camera tracking or camera movements in order to plan out my shots and scenes for the actual shoot, as well as seeing how the mocap data will interact with the environment. And just before I hit play, I want to clarify that most of this is going to be from a first-person perspective, from a drone sort of point of view, which is going to make it very difficult in real life to try and recreate these shots. But with something like a dolly maybe, or just handheld camera movement, I may be able to get some of the shots that I want. So I intend to get the movement shots just in handheld mode, and then swap to a tripod to get some of the like plated shots that I can add more animations and effects to. Okay, so hitting play here, what I intend to do from the start is have a pan down shot. So I'm just going to pause the clip. It's going to be quite difficult to get this shot from like a camera point of view without it looking shaky and kind of crap. So I intend to kind of use the technique of image mapping to make a 3D object or 3D scene and then map the camera to this scene and blend the image down so it looks like the 3D space made from an image was real. Going back to the clip, here you can see a set down like view of the model. So this is where I'm going to swap to a tripod view to get these sort of pans and look around. They're going to be essentially a very clean, just going to pause the clip, going to be a very clean sort of pan with the camera so I can get some nice tracking in the shot. It's nice and locked off. Moving back to the footage, here you can see the camera essentially moving around to an over-the-shoulder shot after it's looked up and down. This is probably one of my favourite shots in the scene, or in the film so far, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to represent it. I'm just going to pause. I'm going to represent it in my actual camera shoot, but I'm just going to get the camera when I'm recording to move to the side, and then as you saw the camera points down and moves up. This kind of represents like the movement of a drone. It's looking down to move forward, because obviously if it was a real drone the fans are at the top and it'd need to sort of tilt down to move forward, if you get what I mean. So after this, the drone gets to the top of the street after it's moved round, and I'll obviously add the mocap data or the character in to try and gather over the shoulder of the shot that I had before, and it's just going to have a look around the scene, check out its surroundings, and then move to a standstill. I'm going to pause. It moves to a standstill, where you get to a very intense camera move. Now, I'm probably not going to be able to get this in camera move in real life, so instead I'm just going to move it to another locked off shot on a tripod, which I can like slowly pan to the side to. This allows me to track some more data into a shot quite easily, as well as just making a clean transition from a sort of free cam to a tripod without it seeming like overly rigid or abrupt. So after the camera's finished moving, I'm essentially just going to slow pan backwards with the camera, or maybe even use a zoom on a tripod with a slow tilt down, just to show the character moving up the road, as well as getting some more of those tilts and pans in. Just ignore the character's hands at the minute. I haven't bothered fixing them right now. I'm just going to pause because it's obviously just a Greyscale simple edit, but that's something I need to change with an animation layer in my Maya project. So after we've watched the character move up the hill, we then pan back round. So I'd obviously keep that on the tripod again, get a nice clean pan round, get some tracking data in there, add some effects in, that sort of thing. So as you can see, there's 6 cubes at the end of the road. This is supposed to represent my generator or power source, which is the whole main objective for the robot to get to. He needs to charge himself up before he runs out of battery and die. Obviously I haven't gotten that far in making that yet, and this is only a Greyscale edit, so I've just used them as a representation, and obviously we've got the yellow lines on the floor to represent the road, which are there in real life. After this we are going to again have that tilt down move forward, looking a bit left and right to have a bit of realistic movement before the camera is going to pan slowly round. So again, when these sort of shots happen, I'm just going to whack it back on a tripod, to get some nice locked off shots to add some tracking and effects to. And then we go back to the model who is waiting there. Obviously I haven't animated that bit yet, but here we go. He's waddling forward, he's running out of power, and he's getting so close, so I'm just going to pause before it carries on. Right here, the robot is getting real close to where he needs to be, but he's also being really slow because his power is about to run out, that's it. So I want the drone to like move closer to him and then back. So the move forward and back will obviously be done by a handheld mode, just to represent that sort of drone in and out. It's going to check out how he's doing, and when he moves back, obviously I'm going to play and you're going to see what happens to the robot. It's getting progressively worse for the poor chap until we whack it back on a tripod and pan down to the left to unfortunately watch the robot meet its demise. After this, we're going to swap back from the tripod mode into handheld mode to go and get close up. Obviously there'll be nothing there in the real life footage, so I need to plan out the scene accordingly to this. But after that's done, the drone robot's sort of going to panic and be like, oh no, I've failed my mission, I need to get out of here and find something else that can help me, another robot. So unfortunately we're just going to leave our robot friend to die, which has disappeared because I haven't extended the frames on that, but it's just going to do some twists and turns and fly out of the scene upwards. So I'll obviously swap to handheld mode and just do a bit of a twist and a turn and then just slowly move and raise the camera to the sky. So this is basically just a simple shot rundown thing for my piece. I think it's going to be very useful to help me on actual set, because obviously now I've got a basic idea of how I want things to look. So yeah, thanks for watching.